19-year-old conducted an experiment that blew the minds of researchers everywhere and genuinely contributed to science, and it was all because he wanted to know if his butterflies still recognized him as a friend. It actually all started when Joe Nagai was just 8 back in 2022 and noticed one day that the butterflies he was raising would often flutter back towards him when he tried releasing them. Since he had always loved studying butterflies and already had hundreds of pages of handwritten notes about their behaviors, he was really curious whether it was possible that they actually recognized them from when he raised them as caterpillars, somehow keeping their memories. When Joe started looking online, he actually came across this researcher named Martha Weiss in the US who had proved a while back that moths really do keep their memories even after turning into goop in their cocoon phase. So despite living in Japan, Joe just instantly sent her a 4-page long handwritten letter as well as all the data he had collected over the years explaining that he wanted to replicate her work with butterflies. Now, although Martha was flattered, she obviously didn't think a kid would be able to do this, so she just kindly recommended he go with a simpler experiment. But when Joe replied saying he'd already started and even criticized some of her methods like using a chemical that could be dangerous to the caterpillars and giving them severe electric shocks, Martha realized he was serious and finally agreed to help him. With her support, Joe actually ended up producing a similar experiment but adapted it for butterflies, and he even improved several aspects like refusing to give his caterpillars serious shocks since he considered them his friends and replacing Martha's dangerous chemical smell with a nice lavender smell. The point was to basically give the caterpillars this smell and see if they would still know to avoid it when they became butterflies. And since 70% of his butterflies did end up avoiding that lavender smell, at age 10, Joe became the first person in the world to prove that butterflies really do retain their memories. But although most scientists would have been satisfied with that, Joe actually decided to take it a step further and test the offspring of his butterflies, and was shocked to realize that they also avoided the smell, suggesting that memories could even be passed down through generations, which was groundbreaking. Joe says that just made him fall in love with the cute caterpillars even harder, and he's now been doing more experiments to further prove his findings, even potentially in humans.